What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Conor McGregor, Anthony Joshua, and the mighty Carl Froch. Get this, according to Carl Froch, Anthony Joshua branded unprofessional for drinking Conor McGregor's stout after the win. Anthony Joshua knocked out Robert Helenius in his last fight, and the former two-time world champion enjoyed some of McGregor's stout moments after the win. Anthony Joshua has been slammed by Carl Froch yet again after drinking Conor McGregor's stout just moments after his recent win. AJ made up for a timid display against Robert Helenius in London earlier this month by landing a one-punch knockout in the seventh round. Joshua was cruising his way to a points win, but his performance drew boos from the fans, but he silenced critics to brutally floor Helenius with a right hand to pick up his first stoppage win in almost 3 years. UFC legend Conor McGregor was ringside for the fight, and he gave Joshua a sip of his forged Irish stout after the Brit jumped out of the ring following his win. But now retired former world champion Froch has slammed Joshua in a new rant. And this is what he said. He said, "How unprofessional is that? AJ jumps out of the ring, bit disrespectful as well. Helenius is receiving medical attention. He jumps out of the ring. Okay, fair play. Go and see your dad, your family. You've just won a fight. You're a bit nervous and you wanted to get the victory, and there's a lot of pressure on you. But don't go over the Conor McGregor who is trying to steal the show," Froch said on his YouTube channel. He said he had all swelling under his eyes. His nose was pussing with blood. His mouth was all bleeding, as we saw when he jumped out of the ring, which was a bit strange. He had a slurp of that tasty Irish stout that Conor McGregor shoved into his face. He had a blood and snout and sweat inside that pint. And Froch added, making a really expensive suit look very cheap because he looks like a scruffy bitch. Standing around at ringside shouting, "Bollocks," staying to the center of attention. He, AJ, shouldn't have drunk that stout. Very unprofessional from Anthony Joshua. Let me counterpunch. I thought of that myself. I thought of the nose bleeding from the drink, and I never really talked about him drinking. I thought that was just a sporadic celebration reaction. I mean, I still think that. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of. But then if you really think about it, you think of Conor McGregor, you think of the party life he has, you think of what he does on his spare time. Conor McGregor does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. Now for him giving AJ some beer, that sounds a bit like a Tyson Fury-ish, Ricardo Mayorga-ish type thing. Okay, reaction. And it doesn't seem like something Anthony Joshua does. However, does it mean there's anything wrong with it? Well, let's say Conor McGregor was doing some cocaine, and some of the cocaine from his nose, drunk, and got into that, and he shoved that shit after he got knocked out. "Hey, here you go, Anthony!" And Anthony took that shit, and he drunk it, and he swallowed some of the cocaine down his system. You know what I mean? It could have been a lot of things that's in his system. That is unprofessional. I have to agree with Carl Froch, because it was careless and reckless, besides being unprofessional. Now, is Carl Froch just looking for some shit to bitch about? Probably so. But then again, Carl Froch is getting in everybody's ass lately. So as long as he hates or counterpunches or criticizes everybody and Anthony Joshua, he may have something against Anthony Joshua, as we know, but, if he gets on everyone the same way, okay, so be it. But Tyson Fury can do it if it's no problem, and he says nothing about Tyson Fury. Okay, that's where we have a problem. You know, it's just uncommon for Anthony Joshua to do something like that. And then a little size, like the blood from his nose is getting in there, and you know, McGregor's drinking that shit. I'm like, I wouldn't want to drink blood from any fucking body. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do it. But again, I think it was a spare in a moment thing, and I don't think Joshua was really thinking about how professional it was, because his job was done. He got the KO. So I don't care about what else happens. And Robert Helenius, that's what the doctors are for. Not saying he's wishing him well and stuff like that, but a lot of times when people do knock out their opponent, they are aware of, hey, I could have hurt this guy. So I get that too. You know what I mean? You know, in all love and war, all right? But yeah, him drinking that and, you know, him criticizing, I think he was basically really criticizing Conor McGregor as well as Anthony Joshua, because he was stating that Conor McGregor was really trying to steal the show. Maybe he was. You know what I mean? Conor McGregor was there ringside, and, you know, he was, you know, trying to be a part of the spectacle or the center of attention. So I do agree with Carl Froch on that. You know what I mean? And see, because he could have done that in the dressing room when he congratulated him, hey, drink some of this. He didn't have to do it at that time, but he knew everybody was looking at Anthony Joshua. So if you're right beside Anthony Joshua, you're also right in the center of attention. But yeah, I don't know if McGregor, more than likely he did. He probably don't mind a little blood. I know Tyson Fury don't mind a little blood. So, yeah, he might have drank the rest of that pint. You know, he took a sip out of it. I think he was trying to be a good sportsman, though, honestly, to the situation, to the spare the moment. You know what I mean? He was just trying to be a good sport to, like, hey, because let's realistically think about that for a minute. Okay, Conor McGregor. Everybody knows Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor goes and then, you know, hey, here's a pain, and he's like, nah, don't do that. You know what I mean? It would make him, like, I don't know how he would have took it, but I would have respected AJ if he didn't do it, because it would look or appear like the AJ that we knew would have just like, nah, later on, because he would instinctively knew, I don't know what the hell's in that beer. I don't know where you got it from. I don't know if, you know what I mean? But then you're at the same time, you're putting all your care and your what's the word? You're lying all of your safety on Conor McGregor. Like, how safe is that? You know what I mean? You're putting all your trust in Conor McGregor. So, you know, again, who's to say that he's trustworthy enough to be trusted as far as drug testing and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Again, he could have just hit a few rails and some damn drops of coke could have dropped down, and you don't know. And then based on these tests these days, that could have happened. And then the first thing they're going to see, man, Anthony Joshua's a cokehead. You see what I mean? So yeah, I do agree with Carl Froch with for safety reasons on protecting himself, because the last thing we want to see is another popped dirty or banned substance positive testing fighter. But you guys tell me what you think of Carl Froch once again scolding Anthony Joshua for being unprofessional, for taking a pint or a drink out of that pint with Conor McGregor. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!